Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclined bound angle pose. For this pose, you'll need a bolster, a blanket, and a belt. First, I want you to make a big loop with your belt and place it off to the side. And then take your bolster and set it vertically on your mat and fold one blanket for a pillow. Next, sit in front of the bolster and take that belt over your head so it's around your waist. And then join the soles of your feet together and take a moment and make sure that the soles of your feet are even. Your heels are even. They look similar, the mounds of your big toes, same. And then take that belt over the outer edges of your feet and adjust the belt so it's low on your back and so that that buckle of the belt is not touching your skin, but that it lives in space. And then arc your chest, lie back over the bolster. Take that pillow for your head. Make any necessary adjustments for comfort. And then take your hands down by your sides, palms face up. Now, the general direction that your head is facing is slightly tilted downwards. So you may need to adjust the pillow or the blanket underneath your head so that your forehead skin moves towards your nose, towards your chin, towards your chest. And there's definitely a happy medium here. You don't want to overdo the lift of your head, otherwise your throat will get hard. But you also don't want your head to be moving backwards and stretching your throat. Otherwise, this can cause excitement in the body instead of a calming effect that we're looking for. Supta Baddha Konasana is a boon to women. It allows for the organs of the lower abdomen, the organs of reproduction, to be pulled downwards. It brings relief to the inner groins, inner thighs, and can be very relieving for menstrual cramps, very helpful throughout pregnancy, and overall beneficial for blood flow of the lower abdomen. So not only does it serve women, but men as well. Allow yourself to become still. We set the pose and we make all of our necessary adjustments to that pose. But after a certain time, we must find stillness in order to be able to receive the benefits of that pose. If we're constantly moving this way and that, we become distracted and unable to pick up on the frequency of the posture that is being generated in our bodies and minds. So as you stay here, allow your body to settle. Allow your arms to fall. Armpit, chest to follow and open. And then very slowly reach down and grab that buckle and loosen the buckle of the belt. And then bring your hands to your outer thighs and join your knees together, using your feet to take that belt off. Simply straighten your legs together and let your feet roll out to the sides for a variation of Shavasana, elevated on a bolster. So even though you moved and you brought action into your body to change the pose, can you drop back in to stillness? And efficiently settle your body down to receive. Let go of all tension in your legs. And then very slowly bend your knees. Put your feet on the floor wide and allow your knees to rest on one another. This can be very helpful if you have sensations in your lower back. It's also very calming. And then resting your knees together in this position, start to take your arms out to the sides more in line with your shoulders, so that you feel a gentle stretch in your armpit chest. And then see if you can raise them up a little bit higher. Moving slowly, mindfully. So that that chest stretch increases a little bit more. That the skin of your upper ribs starts to move out towards your armpits. But you're doing this in such a soft and subtle way that it allows you to stay calm, allows you to stay turned inside. And then see if you can bend your elbows to 90 degrees and take your arms up by your head, increasing that opening of the chest, armpit, chest, upper arms. allowing the rest of your body to stay soft, relaxed. And here you can use your breath to breathe into your upper chest, to breathe into your armpit chest, your shoulders, your ribs. And now very slowly take your hands back down until you're comfortable to bend your elbows and place your hands on your ribs. Rest here for a moment. And then very slowly join your feet together and with your knees bent, roll to the right side and rest on your side. Coming all the way off that bolster, give yourself a moment here to relax. And then turn down to come up. To come all the way out of the pose. Take that belt off and sit in simple cross legs and receive. Adho Mukha Virasana, pose of a child. So for this pose, you just need one bolster. So you're going to take that bolster and place it vertical the long ways on your mat. And then I want you to bring your big toes to touch, take your knees apart as wide as your shoulders or just enough space for that bolster to slide in between your legs. And then come forward and rest on the bolster and take your head to either side. So you're reaching for the outer edge of your ear that's resting on the bolster. And this will give your neck a little bit of a stretch. And for those of you who have the worst of necks, this actually can be quite therapeutic for you. So once you've set the pose, allow your arms to wrap around the front edge of the bolster closest to your head and go inside. This is a restorative variation of pose of a child, where I want you to really bring your focus into allowing your belly to soften, letting your chest, ribs, and head to become heavy. And as you stay here, allowing your hips to descend towards your heels with gravity. And bringing a real sense of softening and deepening surrender to the muscles of your face, to your cheeks, to your eyes, your temple skin, your forehead. Really allowing yourself to fold inward. This is the pose of a child. That which is bundled up into a tiny little ball, a tiny little package of comfort. When newborns come out of the womb, many people will take little photo shoots of their newborn babies. And you'll notice that the babies just want to be in this little position. And when you hold them up against your chest or up against your shoulder, they just want to be bundled up as if they were in the womb. So see if you can create that environment for yourself. And then very slowly take your hands back, press just the upper chest and head up, and turn your head to the opposite side, reaching for the opposite outer ear, the ear that now rests on the bolster. And let yourself become heavy once again. Bring your awareness, your attention inside. Let go of the outside world, and again, turn inward as you fold on yourself, as you rest your ribs, your chest, your head on this bolster. Your belly is free, so allow your belly to be soft. Feel its rise and fall with each breath. And bring it to a state where it's not holding, where it's not gripping, where it's not tethered to the outside world. Turn inside. Become silent. Become still. Soften everywhere. Release entirely. Release in both sides of your neck. Let go in your cheeks once more. And allow yourself to feel held. Now very slowly take your hands underneath your shoulders. Slowly press yourself up. And sit back on your heels. Placing your hands on your thighs, sit upright. Simple cross legs, forward fold using a chair. So for this pose, you'll need a chair, 2 blankets, and your mat. So you'll place the chair on your mat, and then you're going to take 2 blankets and you're going to fold them to make a seat. You may only need 1, as I'm showing here, but you also may need 2 if your hips are a little bit stiffer. 1 blanket comes to the chair seat for comfort. And then I want you to pull the legs of the chair in so that they're very close to your body. Place your forearms on the chair seat and rest your forehead on your forearms or on the edge of the chair. So the chair is close to you because you're not trying to push the chair away. You're not trying to turn this into a hip opening pose. But instead, you're using this pose to, 1, soften the belly, soften the back of your neck, but more importantly, you're using this pose to allow your head to get heavy. This pose is especially beneficial for those of you who suffer from anxiety, worry, fear. It allows you to turn inward, to support the head, and to ungrip the belly. Let your upper back round, and allow the ego self to disappear. You may not feel anything in your body as far as stretching. And sometimes our ego really wants to feel something, wants to feel as if something is happening. But this pose is affecting you on a much deeper psychological level, as opposed to a physical level. If you find it within you, the ability to soften your belly and the back of your neck, you will affect the vagus nerve that runs along both sides of the back of your neck and connects into all the organs in your abdomen. So there's a deep connection that comes between the neck and your belly. And those of you who suffer from headaches, those of you who suffer from nausea, this is an excellent place to go when you feel the onset of those ailments. Now, very slowly, come all the way up. Change your cross legs without disturbing the state in your face, in your eyes. And then come right back down. Bend forward, rest your head. Go in. And remind yourself to soften your belly, to soften your neck once more, because even in that transition where it seems so minimal, like there's so minor movements happening, those movements can cause the body to grip, to tense. So see if you can allow your forehead, the space between your brow, to become heavier and heavier. Let yourself go inside. And as you stay and you ask yourself to find stillness in these poses, can you observe the distractions that come in your mind without judgment? Can you acknowledge your thoughts and then simply let them go and bring your awareness back to your breath? And scan your body on a moments by moments basis, looking for any tension that might come in the belly, any tension that might come into the neck and the shoulders. And can you ask more and more for that softening, that surrender? Turn your awareness and your intelligence inside. Soften your groins. Allow your thighs to drop downwards and become heavier and heavier. And now very slowly come back to center. Place your hands on your thighs and sit upright. And then come on to your knees, sit back on your heels, Place your hands on your thighs and rest. Setubandha Sarvangasana. For this pose, you're going to need 2 bolsters and a belt. So you're going to start by taking the bolsters and placing them vertically on your mat in a line so that they make one long bolster. This is going to support your entire body so that you're able to fully let go in this pose. You're going to sit on the middle of the bolsters, take your belt, and make a loop. And then you're going to place both feet, one at a time, in the belt. And you're just going to loosely belt your ankles. So you're not trying to make this belt tight, but you should have about 2 to 4 inches between your ankle bones. And just make sure that the belt buckle is not touching your skin. And then you're going to lie down so that your entire back, your neck, and even the back of your head is supported on the bolsters. And then you're going to slide your body back on those bolsters so that the skin of your upper body goes over your shoulders and down your back. This will help to hold your chest open. And to keep you in a position where your armpit chest feels free and your upper chest feels really much more open than your normal posture. Sometimes when I do this pose, oftentimes, I'll find I need to push just a little bit more so that my shoulders are firmly on the floor. The back of your head rests gently on the floor. And then because of the nature of the props, your sternum moves towards your chin. There's such an openness of your chest that it allows your chin and sternum to come closer to one another, which creates a squeezing of the front of your neck, which is really good for your thyroid. Be mindful to not press the back of your head. Be mindful to not grip the 2 sides of your throat. Let your legs go, let your feet go. Close your eyes and turn your attention inward. So this is a beautifully supportive, restorative variation of Setubandha Sarvangasana, which is a variation of shoulder stand. And whenever we practice shoulder stand or a variation of, we can tune ourselves into the nurturing qualities of these poses. Salamba Sarvangasana is often called the mother pose of yoga because of those nurturing qualities, because you feel held, you feel supported. And when you come out of one of these types of poses, you feel better. So allow the props to hold your body open, to bring a gentle stretch to the abdomen, gentle opening to the rib cage, and a softening of your lower body. Those of you who have back pain when you start to open your chest or do any sort of backward bending motion may find that this variation of Setubandha Sarvangasana serves you really nicely. And this is because there's a little bit of space between the legs. We're not hard belting the ankles, but there's a little bit of room for your feet to be organic. And so this will relieve pressure from the low back. But you may still feel a little bit of sensation there. Don't be alarmed. This is normal. We are still opening the chest. And for those of us who have a rounded chest or do a lot of work sitting or driving, Anytime we start to open the chest, the pressure gets pushed to the low back or the neck. So just a reminder that in yoga, there is pain that comes along this path to finding freedom in your body. And we have to be willing to turn and face that pain. In our normal lives, we oftentimes will run away from pain or avoid pain, but in yoga, it's a little bit different. Now, very slowly, I want you to take your feet out of the belt, so it should be loose enough to allow you to do that easily. Take your feet to either side of the bolster and rest your knees on one another. Make this effortless so that they're falling into one another, so that there's nothing in your legs holding your knees together. Simply rest here for a moment. And then very slowly turn to your right side. Come all the way off that bolster. Turn down to come up. And take a simple cross-legged seat. Place your palms on your thighs and rest. And now it's time for Shavasana. Today we're going to take Shavasana with a bolster underneath your knees. And this is really nice for the low back. So you'll start with a blanket for your head. You're going to fold it so that it's a thin blanket. It's just giving you comfort between your skull and the floor. And then set the bolster underneath your knees. And as you lie back, adjust the bolster so it's directly underneath your knees. And before you straighten your legs, lift your buttocks up, push your upper buttocks towards your heels, and then slowly straighten your legs, allowing that bolster to support behind your knees, while still keeping both heels on the ground. Make any adjustments to your head and neck, and then allow your arms to come down by your sides. Let go everywhere, let loose everywhere. Some days it feels like dropping into Shavasana is very easy. And other days it can feel like one of the hardest poses that we practice. So use this time to bring your awareness to softening, surrendering, letting go of the body, letting go of the mind, the thoughts. Just for this moment, followed by this moment, followed by this moment. Knowing that everything that you need to tend to is waiting for you after this Shavasana, that there's no need to put your attention there. It's coming for you. Put your attention on your surrender. Let go of your practice. Let go of the poses, the judgments, the successes, the failures. Let go of all of that. And in the words being spoken, it makes this process sound easy. But that is up to you. So as you lay here with your eyes closed, see if you can broaden your focus inside your mind. Allow your eyes to sink into the sockets and to move outward. And notice as you allow your eyes to move outward, your attention moves inward. Soften all the muscles of your face. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth, separate your teeth and wet your lips, and allow yourself to feel free in your body, free in your mind. Making space and room for the energy of your practice to descend upon your being. The afterglow, allowing, inviting, opening to the beautiful benefits of the practice that you just did for yourself. Allow your mind and your body to soften to this energy. And then slowly bend your elbows and place your hands on your lower belly. And bend both knees into your chest and roll to your right side, resting on your side. Turn down to come all the way up and find a simple cross-legged seat. Join your palms together in front of your heart. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaskar. Have a wonderful day.